I didn't expect it at all. It's just a small operation like this. Arm. I just saw the master summoning a magic sword in the air. While using magic to reduce his pain, he cut off his arm. Then he regenerated ignored the master's sweet words. They mocked that the master had no use value now and decided to fire the master. In this way, the master was kicked out by his teammates at the price of 1 gold coin. When they just arrived in the city, they found an elf girl being pushed to the bottom by an old man. The girl struggled desperately, but she didn't want to anger the old man. In a panic, she gave him a stomachache. It's hard for the master to imagine that 2 people can break up like this to a child. He took out a gold coin. He simply bought Lily a piece of clothing and treated her to a meal, so he spent all the master's savings. Thinking of this, the master wanted to find a safe place for Lily. After all, he could only suffer with himself. But Lily said she didn't want to leave the master. The master had no choice but to look for a job to make money. Just at this time, the business was on the door. A man with an injured arm walked into the restaurant. He saw that the scars on his arm and the large area of injury should have been caused by magic. As a member of the underworld, he naturally couldn't go to a regular hospital for treatment. He wanted to try to make it through tonight, but he didn't expect to meet the master. Work as an unlicensed therapist, he could only slowly accumulate customers through his reputation. He did what he said. At night, the master came to the restaurant with Lily. Due to the abandonment of a large number of houses for too long, no one lived there. The master wanted to open a hospital here for free. Not only is it remote, but it can also be operated secretly. After looking for a while, the master found a villa. He just wanted to go in and check it out, but Lily was scared by the scary atmosphere. It is said that this kind of place is easy to die, and the dead forest is the highest level of immortality. If you meet it, you will be easily taken away from life. Although the master can heal the wound, his soul was taken away, so it's too late. However, the master did not panic at all. He walked in with a big swing. Unfortunately, Lily had to follow up forest. It's okay to live in such a big place with a few more people. And the dead forest did not give up. Even the dead forest king himself was afraid of existence. He was master. The master said, "Don't panic, someone will come today." The sound of words just fell. Sure enough, the man who was in charge of the restaurant changed. This morning, as expected by the master. After all, as a person in the dark path, he can't go to the official hospital for treatment. He will definitely help me introduce the business on the dark path. Through communication, the master learned that his arm was hit by a poisonous magic bullet before. It has not improved. The master found that the poison had spread all over his arm. Because the injury was too serious, the master said that this arm had been saved. It needs a knot to prevent the poison from spreading further. The cost of this treatment is 1 million. Hearing this cost, the 2 brothers were instantly restless. They thought that the master was joking and threatening the master. They will not be polite to the businessmen of the dark heart. The master said that he was not joking. His own treatment definitely has this value. The knot is very simple, but it is very complicated to regenerate the broken arm. The master said with a shock that he couldn't understand it. After this, the 2 brothers couldn't recover. They have never heard of anyone who can do it again. The sister lied down on the operating table. After all, this is the place where life is saved. She didn't want the dead to appear here. The dead sister also listened to the master. She went back to the 2nd floor to sleep. She suffered external injuries, so the problem could only appear inside the body. So the male master went up to the half-lion girl and made an enhanced CT. At this time, he found that there was a hard disc with magic waves in his stomach. And this is the extremely powerful explosive demon. The male master was terrified and asked if he was forced to eat it. The half-lion girl said helplessly that she was greedy for food and accidentally swallowed the demon as a rice ball. The male master was speechless and had never seen such a strange operation. He turned around and wanted to leave, because as long as this demon was left alone, it could be naturally excreted through the stomach. These are all small things that don't have to spend money to get a doctor. After the half-lion girl heard this advice, she found that it didn't work. She just bit a little when she was eating the demon. Once the demon has a little stimulus, it will explode. This leads to the current situation of the half-lion girl. The reason why she called the male master to come is because she heard that although the male master would collect the corresponding fee during the treatment, he would still give it to the children for free. This makes the half-lion girl appreciate it very much, and now the loyal subordinates are not willing to leave themselves. After the demon exploded, the half-lion girl will be abused. At this time, the male master also realized the seriousness of the problem. Originally, it was thought that it could be solved in a normal physical way, but now it seems that it has to be stabbed. So it came to the problem of the half-lion girl. She summoned a magic knife. In just 2.5 seconds, the demon was easily taken out. This gave the people around her too little. They didn't know what the male master had done. Inevitably, the male master had no choice but to explain that he just cut open his stomach and then took out the demon. Then he healed the wound at an extremely fast speed. This operation can only make others see that he has taken out the demon from his stomach. However, this is not the most reasonable thing. It is enough to destroy the half-lion tribe's demon. Everyone was shocked by this operation. The male master just explained that he had only applied defense magic to his hands. Although it hurts a little, it is good that it can recover in an instant. The beastmen didn't expect that the male master was quite ridiculous in addition to healing magic. After the disaster, the three bosses of Tingling Cave came to the shop when they had nothing to do. They didn't get hurt, but they always did it on time. The male master thought they had nothing to do with it. The dead big sister Camilla found out that they fell in love with the male master. Only the male master didn't change his eyes. The male master thought he was kidding, but he couldn't stand it. He was afraid that the male master would leave and leave. After 2.5 days, trouble came to him. The three Asian forces finally came to fight for the male master. The half-lion girl came over with the fruit basket first. She said she wanted to fight the werewolves and the beastmen. She asked the male master to stand on her side. Then came the werewolves and the beastmen. They all wanted the male master to stand on their side. The male master had no choice but to fight on the day. On the day of the agreement, the three forces gathered in a battlefield. The male master was polite, but he didn't stop them. Instead, he was generous enough to let them fight at will. So the three of them didn't hesitate and took out their skills. Throwing a weapon directly is to bring the other party to death. The scene soon fell into chaos. The immortals fight, and the mortals suffer. In general, the one who gets the most injuries is the little brother. He was beaten indiscriminately. But what surprised people was that they fought hard from day to night. But there was still no winner. Because no matter how they fight each other, the people who fell down will always stand up painfully. The little sister also felt that something was wrong. The wound on her body was healing. This is obviously the male master's trick. As long as someone in the field is injured, he will treat it in time. In this way, they will fight without end. The purpose of the male master is to let the Asians understand a truth. There is no result if they keep fighting like this. A day of fighting is also to make them exhausted. The male master took the opportunity to make up for their relationship. In this way, the leaders of the three forces put down their achievements. Although the fight stopped, the three said they had a common goal to compete fairly. The male master didn't know what they were planning. Lily suddenly complained to the male master at this time. Not long after, the story of the male master spread to the ears of the royal guards. It is necessary to know that the kingdom is prosperous to this day. It relies on the class system of the royal family as the core. The nobles bully the citizens, then let the citizens vent their dissatisfaction on the civilians. In the end, the civilians fight each other against the enemy race. In this way, the balance is maintained, and the peace of Pingdingko is likely to break this system. Therefore, the foundation of the kingdom is shaken, and the leader is said to be someone to unite the civilians of Pingdingko. So he appointed his subordinates to investigate this matter. At the same time, another year, the male master still treated Lily's wounds as usual. Speaking of which, this time, Lily was injured because they were stared at by the guards. The one who shot was the so-called Iron Lady. She held a magic gun. The shot was very spicy. If she stared at her, she would basically have a bad end. The male master didn't take it seriously. After all, he is just a doctor. He shouldn't have a relationship with this kind of person. But he didn't know that the vice commander had sneaked into Pingdingko. Seeing the scene of peaceful coexistence in front of him, he simply couldn't believe his eyes. The contrast was too big, so he casually found a Westerner Vlonsa. But when the vice commander asked in depth, the Westerner also kept his mouth shut. His eyes were so soft that he couldn't bear to look at her directly. He threw a gun at the Westerner, but even so, he couldn't open his mouth at all. At this time, the leader of the Westerner happened to enter the room. The vice commander had no choice but to hide for a while. After all, it's not wise to do it on the other person's territory. But at that moment, he saw an incredible miracle. The wounds that the two people couldn't heal were actually normal. What the hell is going on? However, as they walked, the vice commander suddenly found himself lost. He happened to be mistakenly buried by the male master's pillow. It was just a question of how to get back. Until he saw Lily's elite feature, his attitude changed 180 degrees. But the vice commander mistakenly thought that the male master was the reaction of the child. Without further ado, he sent him a few magic bullets. Lily saw that the male master was in danger and hurried to explain that the male master was not the reaction of the child. He was Lily's lifesaver. Please don't hurt her. At this time, the vice commander realized that he was too anxious, accidentally misunderstood the good man. But fortunately, the bullets he used would not endanger his life. He would only lose a certain amount of mobility, but he didn't know the extent of the attack. For the male master, it was just an illusion. The next second, the male master actually walked out unharmed. The vice commander was shocked. Just because this magic bullet persisted, the male master, this little human, didn't even notice. Looking at the vice commander's shocked eyes, the male master had no choice but to explain that he just used defense magic to block the attack. The vice commander was completely dumbfounded and suspected that he had encountered a hidden treasure full of defense. Later in the conversation, it was learned that he was the vice commander of the kingdom. The main purpose of this trip is to investigate the culprit who caused the peaceful coexistence of Pingming Lake. Just because the people of Pingming Lake are born to do bad things, once they get along peacefully, they will definitely become the resistance army and pose a threat to the kingdom. So, for the future of the kingdom, he must kill the danger in the cradle. The male master was shocked after hearing this. Because he is the one in the mouth of the vice commander, he didn't think about it at all. He just wanted to cure the disease and make money, but he hid from the adults to investigate himself. So the alliance pointed to the direction of returning to the city for the vice commander, hoping that he would leave early. But the vice commander was unwilling to leave because it was close to Pingming Lake and it was convenient to investigate later. He hoped to stay here for the night. Of course, he would give the male master the corresponding assistance. The male master didn't want to promise, but he was afraid that the other party would be affected, so he could only agree to his request. Lily was very dissatisfied after learning that the vice commander was staying. Unexpectedly, the male master took charge of a harem again. So in order to declare sovereignty, Lily actually sat on the male master's leg directly. While the male master was confused, Lily told the male master and the previous female party that this was the male master who guarded the king, so she gently touched Lily's hair. The plan was successful. Lily was proud to see the vice commander's face, but the vice commander didn't do anything, but just drank tea. This is exactly the opposite. At the same time, Christina was curious to ask the male master if there was a cured king in Pingming Lake, because she found that the wound that could not be cured was completely healed. It should be known that this kind of wound can only be healed by rebirth. But this level of treatment can only be done by a few other saints all over the world. The male master couldn't say anything and could only talk. He was also curious to ask why the vice commander was so hostile to Pingming Lake. The vice commander could only explain that his mother didn't care about the people on Pingming Street when she was alive, and she would give them free food every day. He thought good people had good news, but he didn't expect that one day he would be killed by Pingming. From that day on, he decided to become a member of the Knights and fight against those who violated the law in Pingming Lake to avoid the same tragedy as him again. It was also difficult for the male master to listen. After all, everyone has their own difficulties. The time came the next day. While the vice commander went out to investigate, the male master was injured and Christina was treated. But he didn't expect the vice commander to suddenly break the law. The moment the two looked at each other, he immediately raised his sword. It's a long story. The two instantly fought. However, when the vice commander pushed the charge of kidnapping children to the leader of Pingming Lake, Christina was not calm for a moment and strongly opposed him. The criminal of kidnapping children is actually a woman named Carl. She seems to be doing charity and not teaching children. In fact, behind the scenes, she is doing dirty children's trading. The vice commander who hates Pingming didn't believe what she said at all. In order to avoid further conflict, the male master had no choice but to stand up and show his identity, saying that he was the one he was looking for, and that what Christina said was true. The vice commander didn't believe what the male master said at all. But looking at the male master standing in front of Pingming Lake, he was also a little disappointed and had to leave alone. In order to investigate the truth, the vice commander also had no time to spare and visited the nobleman named Carl randomly. He assumed that Pingming Lake was rebelling and needed to strengthen defense. He investigated the nobleman's house but found nothing. However, the vice commander found a place that was clearly guarded and there might be something fishy. So one person came to a place and sneaked in. As soon as he came in, he was stunned by the screen in front of him. Unexpectedly, countless children were blindfolded and locked here. Their bodies were chained and bound to death. They didn't wait for the vice commander to comfort the children. A magic bullet behind directly destroyed his combat ability. Carl also walked out with a magic gun. Facing the about-to-die vice commander, he also had no sympathy and wanted to kill people to silence them. After all, dead people don't talk. Just at this critical moment, the male master and Shiime suddenly appeared. Carl panicked and didn't know why so many people were killed all at once. He quickly shot at the male master, and the male master didn't panic at all and died directly. Carl thought the male master was dead, but he didn't expect that the male master under the smoke was unharmed. No matter how Carl shot, the result was the same. Facing such a section of the male master, Carl was scared to death, and the male master picked up the magic gun on the ground. No matter how hard Carl begged, the male master didn't hesitate to pull the trigger. The vice commander saw that the culprit had died and could die in peace. After all, he had already broken his internal organs. It's hard to save the god, but in the eyes of the male master, it's just a small injury that can be healed easily. The vice commander didn't believe it at first, but in the next second, his wound was healed. This surprised the vice commander for 2.5 years. It turns out that the healing magic of the male master is also so sweet. But at this time, the vice commander was curious and asked why the male master would come to save himself. Obviously, he is your enemy. The male master just said that he hadn't paid the accommodation fee you owed me. Then, with the help of Shiyame, he saved all the children. The male master didn't expect that his team had never won since he kicked out Tins. He was seriously injured before his own attack was performed. The defense magic of his teammates was no different. The back row archers were directly led by the devil. The master was even more afraid that he couldn't release his skills. This directly broke the record of the male master's unharmed clearance. The huge gap made the male master doubt his life. Could it be that the useless support he kicked out was actually a big secret? Due to the heavy loss of the team, the captain had to lead the team out of the cave. After that, the team fought again. To sum up, the failure of the battle didn't go unnoticed. But this time, the devil still fooled the team. The captain couldn't hit the devil at all. The back row archers were like a human machine. The fireball came, but the devil didn't move. The captain was still blaming the defense magic of his teammates. But he didn't know why they were unharmed clearance. It's because of the healing magic of the day when the male master was kicked out behind his back. In this way, the second attack was also a failure. The red hair didn't expect that the previous devil would hit him casually. Now that he met the B-level devil, he would hit him so hard. Now the mage is about to die. The blue-haired girl has already issued a medical notice saying that her treatment was restricted. She had to go to a regular hospital for treatment immediately. Otherwise, she would die. This shocked the red-haired girl. After all, if this was put in the previous team, the healer must be able to heal instantly. At this time, the red-haired girl thought of the male master. Did she really kick the top support out of the team? She was just a civilian. Due to the failure of the mission, she was greeted by the nobles as soon as she returned to the city. She didn't expect that such a simple mission could not be completed. The red-haired girl who was punished this time was a gift for the princess. The red-haired girl was not willing to lose a chance to make friends with the nobles. She could only beg the other party. After all, when there was a male master before, it was an objective fact that the Thufilge. The next day, they came to Pingming Lake to look for the male master. On the way, the teammates were still teasing if the male master would die of starvation on the road. The red-haired girl said she wouldn't. After all, she gave the male master a gold coin for the news. She didn't have to starve to death. Because most of the information in Pingming Lake was left in the hands of the three great Asians, the red-haired girl soon found the Shiyi girl. The red-haired girl was impressed and introduced herself as the leader of the undead adventure team. Then she inquired about the male master and learned that they were looking for the male master. The Shiyi girl burst into laughter. It turned out to be you idiots who kicked the doctor out of the team. I'm so stupid. She won't see you idiots. You can get out of here. Wen Yan and the red-haired girl wanted to fight, but the guards around her calmed down. The red-haired girl had no choice but to leave. They didn't know what was going on. The red-haired girl who didn't give up found the wolf leader, but was still scolded to death. She just wanted to fight, but was shocked by the wolf girl's strange way of fighting. In the end, the red-haired girl had to leave silently. In the end, the red-haired girl had to meet Luck at the leader's place, but she didn't expect to find out that the wolf leader was looking for her. But she still thought the wolf leader was just a commoner. There couldn't be such a big thing. Maybe it's just another person with the same name. Unexpectedly, she saw the wolf leader at this time. The red-haired girl hurried up to invite the wolf leader to join their team. Before she finished, the wolf leader heartlessly refused. The red-haired girl was completely stupid and thought she had heard it wrong. The wolf leader said, "You didn't hear it wrong. You have been treated unfairly. It's a pity that there is little revenge. Everyone will refuse, but if you insist on letting me join the team, I can't. You can consider the task, but you need to charge 200,000 for minor injury, 100,000 for major injury." The red-haired girl was completely stupid. She didn't expect the gentleman would be so arrogant now. She looked at the wolf leader and ignored her back. The red-haired girl was completely angry and rushed up to attack the wolf leader. Just then, the vice leader shot the red-haired girl. The red-haired girl couldn't care about the wound on her body, but was scared by the woman in front of her. She remembered that she was the youngest vice leader in the history of the kingdom. Unexpectedly, she would also stand by the wolf leader. Why are so many people looking at the wolf leader and not waiting for the red-haired girl to be stupid? The vice leader was ready to arrest the red-haired girl. In order to avoid being arrested, the red-haired girl ran away. Time soon came to night. The wolf leader and the others were discussing about the red-haired girl. They were worried that the red-haired girl would harm the wolf leader. All the chiefs sent their men to inquire about the red-haired girl. But they were afraid that she would do something illegal underground, because as long as there was money there, they could entrust her to do anything. Killing and setting fire are common things there, but the price is also high. Considering that the red-haired girl is now looking for the wolf leader, she should not be too rich. But even so, the wolf leader was still a little worried that the red-haired girl would do something illegal to harm her people and the imperial harem. As expected, she did whatever she was afraid of. The next day, a huge statue appeared outside and was arbitrarily destroying the temple.